ISIS is here and they're fighting each other. I said, why don't you let them fight? Why are we getting in the middle of it?
Whatever's happening in Syria, regime change, rebels, it's likely significantly connected to the agenda of the powerful, because it wouldn't be happening. And when you have populist leaders now emergent, and I think we're going to see more of this across the world, it's already a phenomenon that's defining our time, saying stuff like this is how Trump regards Syria.
So Taliban is our enemy. ISIS is our enemy. We have an area that I brought up with our generals 4 or 5 weeks ago, where Taliban is here, ISIS is here, and they're fighting each other. I said, why don't you let them fight? Why are we getting in the middle of it?
He thinks like we think. Why are we then it? That's what frightens me more than anything, is when, like, you know, before Russia-Ukraine, do you go, can't start a war with Russia, and they got nuclear weapons, right? You think, no, they must know stuff I don't know. But that is true. Don't start a war with Russia. They've got nuclear weapons. Like, think back to the beginning of the pandemic. How can they have tested their medicines and the impact of their medicines, if you want to call them medicines, over a 5-year, 10-year period when they ain't had 5 years or 10 years to trial it? They can't have done. So when your instincts, what is your instincts? Your instincts is your access to information and awareness that is transcendent of their ability to control you and manipulate you through propaganda. And what Trump does, as the American mystic, as I've described him, he reaches into, why are we doing it? It's like common sense, isn't it? It's somewhere between common sense and a level of genius that's difficult to, like, understand. Why are we getting involved? Taliban and ISIS. Now, Taliban, ISIS, we can help you with this dispute because somehow or another our interests can be represented. Now, when I say, like, affection, he's not our mystic. You don't understand what I mean by mystic. I mean conduit of deeper truths. Mystic doesn't mean saviour. It doesn't mean that. There is one saviour. There is one saviour. Mystic, conduit of truth. Access to ulterior and obfuscated and obscured information. It's interesting. Watch him. Let's go back to look at how he's talking. Like, look at how he's talking compared to Joe Biden. Remember Joe Biden at the beginning of the show. Thanks to the way I've governed, we've weakened Hezbollah and Hamas. Like, it's like bullshit. Do you not know? Do you not know how to read that? Have you not seen it enough times now?
So Taliban is our enemy. ISIS is our enemy. We have an area that I brought up with our generals 4 or 5 weeks ago, where Taliban is here, ISIS is here, and they're fighting each other. I said, why don't you let them fight? Why are we getting in the middle of it? I said, let them fight. They're both our enemies. Let them fight. Sir, we want to do it. They go in and they end up fighting both of them. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. I think I would have been a good general, but who knows?
I love it. He's perfect for our time because he's gone back to himself already. That's what I would do. That's what I would do. I think I would have been a good general. Like me, I talk about stuff like I've been talking about like Navy SEALs experiences, like when they're sort of clearing buildings, supporting like a domestic Iraqi army. I'm like, yeah, that's what I'd have done. How does this affect me? Like when I told my daughter Peggy about Hitler, right? I go like, well, what was Hitler? I goes, well, Hitler was like a sort of a political and military leader that sort of exploited tensions across Europe and economic decline in Germany to rise up as the head of a populist movement using sort of anti-Semitic tropes that were kind of common across Europe at that time. He estimated 6 million Jews died in concentration camps, as well as millions of gay people, disabled people, gypsies, drug addicts, mentally ill people, and he sort of started various wars, notably Peggy, the war on the Eastern Front against Russia, which was a mistake while still trying to fight Britain on the Western Front of France and Belgium. Peggy went, he could have killed me. That was her response. He could have killed me. That's the only way she could make sense of it. That's how I said, yeah, that's my girl. All of this, like, history of politics. Also, she is only 6, so that was probably quite a heavy way to describe that story to her. Most coffee out there is basically the liquid equivalent of a participation trophy. Bland, mass-produced, utterly forgetful. But peaberry beans, they're not here to play nice. You get yourself that peaberry, you'll know you've been caffeinated. It's 1775, baby. These rare little rebels make up less than 10% of the entire coffee harvest. Instead of sticking to the crowd, they grow solo, resulting in a denser, more intense bean that doesn't just follow the herd. These beans are grown at high altitudes and are hand-picked at their their peak, because if you're going to do something, do it right, yeah? Do them beans right. Thanks to their unique solo act, Peaberries deliver richer flavours, a smoother finish, and a touch more caffeine to keep you sharp and focused, like the universe intended. This isn't your corporate coffee sludge. This is for those who see through the nonsense and demand a cup that's as real as it gets. Why settle for anything less than the sweetest Peaberries, those rarest among beans? So if you're tired of sipping on mediocrity, go to 1775coffee.com. Use my special code BRAND to get 15% off. Don't just wake up properly to 1775. Revolutionary coffee in the revolution against mediocrity.
Hey, thanks for watching. If you want to see more uncensored content where free speech can flourish, join our live stream. Click the link right here to watch the next video if you want to, or become a member of a growing movement. Download the Rumble app and you'll be informed every time we make a new piece of content. Stay free.